Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Limnacker, and just want to let you know that we're following several top stories this morning. I want to let you know that the family of a man who died at the Fulton County Jail and their prominent civil rights attorney, Ben Crump, they are at a meeting right now. They're cranking up the pressure on elected officials. So they're joining a meeting of the Board of Commissioners for the Fulton County Jail. You may remember this story. 35-year-old LaShawn Thompson was found dead at his cell at the Fulton County Jail last year. His body was covered in bed bugs, according to his family. His cause of death still being determined, but a couple weeks ago, Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt announced that he had asked and received the resignations of 3 top jailers, said that he was considering switching the jail's healthcare providers, and then 3 days after that, the Board of Commissioners approved $5.3 million to further address inmate safety and security, though the sheriff has asked for a whole new jail to be built, actually. But here's the aunt of LaShawn Thompson, followed by their attorney, Ben Crump.
You imagine him screaming and him hollering, saying, help, they biting, and nobody comes.
If we don't ask the questions and we don't get the answers and we don't get to the truth, then next time it could be your loved one.
So again, the family members and attorney Ben Crump meeting with county officials right now, and we're going to be covering this. We do have a crew there at the scene to gather some reaction. We're going to bring you the latest here on Atlanta News First Plus and Atlanta News First. But I also want to let you know, excuse me, about a really disturbing case that we're also following out of Union City this morning, because there's been a mass stabbing that sent 4 people to the hospital, including a child. These victims, including the child, all had multiple stab wounds. They had lacerations all over their bodies, according to officials. Paramedics rushed all of them to Grady for treatment. And it was apparently at an apartment complex on Thompson Road called Arcadia at Parkway Village. Police saying they got the call around 9:30 last night, and when they arrived, they found 3 women who had been cut and stabbed in several areas of their upper and lower bodies. They say the child, who police think is just about 5 years old, also had several cuts and stab wounds. So police are working to figure out exactly what happened here. It's certainly a disturbing story. We're going to keep following the latest here on Atlanta News First and Atlanta News First Plus. We're also following the latest, some really interesting developments concerning Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and her probe into potential election interference in the 2020 presidential election. So she has said that a historic decision is coming. That's what she said as she decides whether to actually bring charges against former President Donald Trump. Let's listen.
It has kept everybody honest. It's made sure that we all stay safer. And I think it is part of the formula that is making sure that crime is on the decline. It takes all of us to do this. We can't just leave it to the police, the DA. We need the community to be involved.
So Willis has been investigating this possible election interference by Mr. Trump and his allies in the Georgia 2020 presidential election, as we've been reporting to you here on Atlanta News First. She has said that she's likely going to make a decision about charges very soon. And here you say that you hear her say that it's a historic decision that could be coming soon. That's something that we're going to continue to follow closely. In fact, we have a local attorney who's going to be joining us for a live interview right here on Atlanta News First Plus coming up at 1:30 to kind of walk through what the potential charges could look like, what the investigation could look like, as we continue to follow what Fani Willis is saying could be a historical decision coming very soon. Also, we've been following the latest with what a lot of people are calling Hollywood drama, kind of playing out in real time. The Writers Guild strike just began, but it's already affecting what a lot of television viewers are seeing. There's picket lines continuing to snake outside major production studios nationwide. The writers behind a lot of your favorite TV shows and movies on strike. They're demanding higher pay, job security in an industry that is, of course, constantly changing. The Writers Guild of America is seeking more pay up front, as streaming is cut into how much they make on the back end. The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which represents studios and production companies, has really pushed back against those demands, though, pointing to some budget constraints, as well as recent layoffs.
Most writers that are members of the Guild are at the poverty line. Just because there are 20,000 registered members in the Writers Guild, there's not that many assignments for writers out there. Just driving here, I passed 3 base camps. So the impact in this city is going to change dramatically, and it's going to affect thousands of people here in Georgia who have rent to pay, who have mortgages to pay.
And the impact certainly being felt in homes across the country. Late night was the first to go into reruns, daytime production going dark, repeats expected once shows do run out of fresh episodes. This could be the same for the soaps. Writers Guild and studios don't have any talks planned just yet. Not clear how long this strike is going to last, but it's something that we're going to keep following. Apparently adding to the writers' outrage is executive pay, because salaries of a lot of these top studio chiefs have been released publicly to shareholders and reveal that several entertainment CEOs made more than $30 billion in pay last year. So a lot of writers would like to see some of that cash for themselves. Okay, want to shift gears and talk about the forecast. We have meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi joining us. 48 degrees and 66 is the high. That looks a little chilly.
So this is actually, Joy, showing how cold we were this morning versus how cold we were this day last year in the morning.
Wow.
So clearly we're off to a very cool start to the month, everybody. You've probably needed your jacket as you stepped out the door, and you're going to need it for maybe a couple more days for the mornings. But we do have some really, really nice weather upon us. Lots of sunshine out there, really just a stunning morning out there for your Wednesday. Enjoy this weather, because we do also have some changes on the way. We'll be missing these days once we start to get really hot. You know, those days are right around the corner. We'll be missing these really comfortable afternoons we've had. Notice the flags over here in Centennial Olympic Park blowing in the wind. It's going to be another breezy day, not quite as windy as we've been, but you'll definitely notice that breeze out there. Just to introduce myself again, I'm First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. Hope your day is off to a wonderful start. Let's talk about the forecast. Of course, we showed this. This is kind of just giving some perspective of how abnormally cold it is. First of all, we were at 48 this morning in the city of Atlanta. Some of the suburbs were in the low 40s and upper 30s this morning. Some spots in the mountains were in the upper 30s, if you could believe it. But this time last year, we were in the upper 60s in the mornings. So the mornings were a lot more mild, I guess you could say. The afternoons were hot. We were in the mid 80s on May 3rd last year. The average is 58, so started below average today. Last year we were above average. We haven't kind of been that just right point recently, but keep in mind we are going to stay below average for the next several days temperature-wise. So through the day today, upper 60s, low 70s. If you're north of Atlanta, you might end up only in the mid 60s today. Again, it will be breezy. That northwest wind is helping to pull in that cool and dry and really comfortable air today. So the humidity will stay low. It'll be breezy, nothing but sunshine. In the city of Atlanta, you'll top out in the low 70s. Now, I will say, while it feels nice out there to us to have this low humidity and that breeze, it doesn't necessarily create very safe conditions for any kind of outdoor burning. So today we do have a red flag warning. It will go into effect at noon and go through 8 o'clock tonight. So again, any kind of outdoor burning not recommended. If you've been trying to do some spring cleaning outside, you're maybe trying to burn some of those dead shrubs that you've probably been trimming back in your yard. Maybe you want to grill outside, as tempting as it is to grill outside today because the weather will just be stunning for it. We just don't recommend it because the weather is not going to be conducive for that. Any kind of fires that maybe spark could spread very easily with the weather conditions today, with that low humidity and the higher winds. So let's talk about why we've been in this pattern. It really started over the weekend when a low pressure system moved through the area, and now we're getting this northwest wind behind this area of low pressure. Around an area of low pressure, wind flows counterclockwise, and that's helping to pull in that cooler, drier air from the northwest that's been dominating our forecasts the last couple of days, and that will stay in place through about tomorrow. But then an area of high pressure that's starting to build already out to our west, that's going to dominate the forecast as we head into the end of the week and into the start of next week. That's going to do a couple of things for us. One, we're going to pull in some more moisture. Our wind will have more of a southerly component to it, so that will allow for showers and storms to ride along the edge of that ridge. We kind of call it a ring of fire, where those showers and storms pop up around the outer periphery of that high. That's going to make us warm and unsettled, because also when you're under the influence of high pressure, air sinks, and when air sinks, it warms. So actually, once we head into the weekend, we're going to start to have those temperatures back in the 80s, but we'll also, again, be unsettled. Wind will have a more southerly component to it. We'll pull in a little more moisture into the forecast, into our atmosphere, and ultimately we'll have those showers and storms kind of ride along it. We'll have little waves of energy. All of our rain isn't necessarily going to come from a large weather system that's going to bring widespread rain. It'll be little impulses that'll bring us small rain chances, really, starting Friday all the way through Tuesday. So needless to say, enjoy the beautiful sunshine and low humidity while it lasts. As I mentioned in the beginning, it's right around the corner to when we'll be missing days like this, and we're really hot and sticky here in the southeast. So as we head through the overnight hours, I do want to point out it's going to be cold again tomorrow morning. So as you step out the door tomorrow, you'll need the jacket. Could have some upper 30s again in the mountains. Looks like in Metro we'll be in the mid 40s, near 50. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll head into the low 70s. You'll notice a few extra clouds around tomorrow, and that'll be ahead of impulse number 1. So here comes that first little wave of energy that'll bring us a chance for showers Friday evening for that commute home. Not a widespread chance for rain, but scattered showers, all quick passing. That's possible Friday afternoon and evening. Now, these little impulses are very hard to forecast. They are extremely small scale, so models struggle with them. So again, just kind of keep the umbrella tucked away, because all these waves of energy essentially will move very quickly through the area. And the timing will be hard to pinpoint until pretty much the day of. But right now, we'll think afternoon and evening for that first batch of rain. Best rain chance does seem to be on Saturday. Not going to be a washout, but definitely looks to carry the highest chance of rain if you have any outdoor plans this weekend. There's a lot going on in North Georgia per usual. Don't cancel the plans. Again, any kind of shower activity the next few days will be very quick passing. But notice we will keep at least an unsettled forecast pattern all the way through Tuesday, as again, all those impulses right along that ridge that will keep us warm and unsettled. And here's a look at the 7-day forecast. No first alerts, so we're not needing to give you any kind of heads up or anything like that. Overall, a fairly spring-like pattern setting up. Low 70s today. It'll be another chilly start tomorrow morning. We'll be in the low 70s still on Friday. We'll have some clouds build in. It'll be actually a fairly cloudy day on Friday. And then we start to introduce the chance for scattered showers. Starting Friday, maybe a stray shower. Best chance for rain on Saturday. Sunday does look drier. And then as we head into the start of next week, we'll be in the 80s with scattered storms possible both Monday and Tuesday. But again, enjoy the really comfortable days the next couple of days, because we are going to warm right back up into the 80s come Sunday. And it does look like we will carry on a warm and unsettled stretch of weather as we head into next week. But beautiful today. Get out and enjoy it. I really encourage you to get outside today and just soak in the beautiful sunshine and the really comfortable air out there today. All right, everybody. Do not rush the humidity and heat. That's right. Yep, that's right. Good morning, Wesley. Hi. Right, enjoy today, because we know it is going to be very soon where we're all going to be just melting as soon as we step out the door in the morning and the afternoon. You know those mornings when it's like 70 outside, the humidity's really high, and you step out and you feel like you're swimming in the air because there's just so much moisture instead of walking in it. Yeah, those days are around the corner, everyone. So soak in the beautiful weather while it lasts, because it won't be here much longer. All right, everyone, I hope you have a fantastic day today. Enjoy, again, the beautiful weather, and we'll catch you guys here next time. Thanks so much for spending some time with us.